Okay, so Charlie, speaking of that, what is the situation as far as rental delinquencies? Are they any better than they were in the beginning, or are they worse? Are they about the same? How's that working out?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about writing an article about rent collection these days and delinquencies these days to call it up, down, sideways, and every other which way. It really has been all over the place for us. Um, so first, I'll talk about what I've seen nationwide. There was a study that came out, apartmentlist.com. Which clearly is mostly apartment data, but they release some information, and they do have a lot of single-family home rental information as well. And they said that nationwide, a little over 30%, so roughly a third of the rental properties that they researched, did not pay their rent on time at the beginning of July. So basically, typical rent is due at the first of the month, maybe late on the third before late fees and whatnot start applying. We're pretty close to that ourselves. We, at the end of June, had less than a 10% delinquency rate. And that was pretty much on par with where we were at the end of May and at the end of April. So by the end of the month, about 3 months in a row now, basically the 3 months of the crisis, we're seeing that, yeah, there's still a handful of people, but for the most part, people are getting paid up by the end of the month. At the beginning of the month, though, we have a lot of delays in payments. We have a lot of folks that are on payment plans. And we've had a lot of folks that have had to wait on things like unemployment. And they've applied for unemployment, but I'm sure everybody's heard about in the news, delays in getting the actual unemployment checks, backlogs from the state governments on unemployment registrations and whatnot. And it's still a mess to a certain degree. We actually still have some tenants that have told us they're still waiting on unemployment money. But for the most part, we do have tenants that are trying to do the right thing and are getting caught up by the end of the month. So, and actually at the end of June, we were slightly better than we were at the end of May. So we saw some improvement. Anecdotally, I don't know if there's just, again, more optimism, a little bit more of the opening of the economy, and then a little bit of the fact that some people did finally get some unemployment money in. July has started off better than what June did. But again, we are still a little under 30%. We're about a 25% number from a delinquency standpoint. And right now it's July 10th. So at the 10th of the month, we're at about a 25% delinquency. Now that's a dollar number. That's not meaning that a quarter of our properties haven't paid anything. That's just saying that out of all of our dollars that we collect for rent, 25% of it we have not collected. Most of that 25% is made up of folks that have made at least partial payments. But there are a handful of folks that have not made any payments. So, we're really in a continued situation of uncertainty, unfortunately, and not sure, if it's going to be next month is going to be any better or not, just because of, and at least especially in the Houston area, some of the spikes and cases and continued closures of businesses.